Let's bow our heads for prayer.
Lord God in heaven, we bless you for this day. Thank you for this great opportunity that we are on the surface to witness what we are doing here. Thank you for the journey of AAC. Thank you for individuals represented, families, nations. Thank you for the people that you have put in office that were able to lead us this far and they'll be handling the baton. Thank you for those individuals that will be coming on board. We thank you for the life of each and every one of us since the beginning of this year. We pray, Lord, take preeminence of this meeting. At the end of it, let's give glory to your name. Amen.
Amen. This evening, the agenda as follows. Usually, we have an agenda sent out, but as you all know, this is a special meeting in which we'll have a transition of leadership. I will give a quick remark, followed by the VP's office. Next, followed by the election commission team, introduction of candidates, introduction of electoral committee, and then the voting will take place. I will try to be brief. I started this journey 4 years ago. Many of you I did not know, but through the journey with the AAC, we've been able to do great things in the community. The community is a growing community, and the community look towards the African Advisory Council as a beacon of hope. Because if we, in our own diverse ways, Liberians, Guineans, Nigerians, Senegalese, South African beliefs, we all come together every month to discuss community issues. Everything from health to the Ebola crisis that we dealt with. From the Ebola crisis to the injustice that happened this year with our brother, the street merchant. Making sure that the community stayed engaged, but also making sure that the government knows to bring resources into our community, and we are there to hold them to task. Because we know oftentimes what happens when we don't have our hands there, that we don't have people there. We miss out on a lot of resources. We miss out on our issues being brought to the forefront of the table. And that's what the AAC have been able to accomplish and will continue to accomplish and will grow to become stronger. At this time, I just want to take a moment to recognize some of the senior and founding members of the AAC. Please raise your hands. Please raise your hands if you are one of the founding members of the AAC. Please raise your hands. You know, I wasn't there at the beginning, but I came months after. And it wasn't easy. But sometimes it starts with an idea or a dream that becomes a reality, in which no matter whether you're in the Bronx, you're in Manhattan, you're in Queens, you're even in Africa, you hear about the AAC, you hear about the work that's been done, and sometimes it seems effortlessly. But it's not effortless, because these folks you see around the table, some are founding members, some are board members, etc. They take upon themselves, volunteer. There's no payment, nothing. But to realize how important it is for them to be at the table, for them to speak on behalf of the community, for them to bring injustice to the ear of law enforcement and to city government, to let them know that we are the second largest group in the Bronx. We are the largest group of Africans here in the US, and we're not going anywhere. And we need representation, and we need the conversation, we need more resources, everything from housing to jobs, etc. Just like every single community. And these folks every single day to fight on your behalf. So I'm thankful to have served with all of you here, in different capacity. You know, from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful. You know, because, you know, usually you see the chair of the organization, which to many people seems like they do everything. But I know, and all those other leaders behind me know, that without them, the AAC could not be where it is right now. Without them, the AAC will not be where it should be 5, 10, 20 years from now. That when we all get together, we look back and we say, wow, this all started with a dream.
My name is Ramatu Ahmed. I'm one of you in the community. I'm very honored to be the commissioner of this electoral process. I have Tanja Bakari, he's running late, so he will join us later. But before we continue, I would like to call the representative from the Borough President's office to give us a remark.
Good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be here tonight. A lot of you I haven't seen in a while. And it's like, whoa, Nabi. You know, when this first came to pass, right? This has been a very exciting, interesting opportunity for the Bronx Borough President to meet all of you people and see how everybody is together on issues and don't really say, oh, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Bali, I'm from this one, that one. Everybody gets together as one Africa, it's one Bronx. So I thank you. I want to thank Ramatu, you've been extraordinary in this process, so thank you very much for keeping us all in the link and keeping us all on our toes, so thank you very much. Very difficult process, right? Yeah. So I wanted to read a statement from the Bronx Borough President. It reads, Dear esteemed members of the Bronx African Advisory Council, on the eve of your executive board election, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your years of outstanding service, not only advocating on behalf of our local African community, but for the entire Bronx as well. The African Advisory Council, the first of its kind, by the way, the Bronx has bragging rights on that, okay? The first of its kind has been a shining example of how our immigrant community has led the way to ensure that the Bronx is a great place to live, work, and thrive. I would like to thank the outgoing AAC Executive Committee, especially Charles Cooper, who has dutifully served as chairperson for the AAC for the past 4 years. His leadership is to be commended. Thank you, Charles. And to all of tonight's executive committee candidates, I thank you for stepping up to the challenge to serve our African community in our borough. Good luck tonight. Good luck. And so tonight, I wish you all a peaceful and democratic election. May you elect the candidates you believe will be able to best build on AAC's past successes and continue to strive to serve the needs of our borough's growing, diverse African community. Thank you for your years of support. Yours truly, Julia Bronx Borough President. Thank you.
As the chair of the committee, I did not hesitate because I know I can do the job, and I did it right. I deliberately brought certain changes to show how dynamic we Africans can be and kind of revamp our energy to do things better. Because most times when we talk of African organizations, among we Africans, there are some who don't want to join us. They are Africans, but they don't want to join African organizations because they don't have the trust in us. They don't have the belief in what we do, and their complaint is we don't do things professionally. So I decided to go a step ahead to do things differently so that we can have a democratic election with transparency and accountability. Those of you who were on the mailing list, I mean, there's a lot of conversations going on, but sometimes I have to turn the other year aside and not to work with it because we don't have kind of books that we could work with. I have to use my discretion to put together the voters. I have to talk to people here and there, elders, and some of the professionals that I know they are very good in programs like this. I have to talk to them to seek their advice. So for those who have been in the journey with me, I thank you for your support. And believe me, this is the beginning, and I hope in the near future, those who will take over in the next election will do something better than this and maybe more strict than what I have done. So before we continue, I would like to introduce to you the member of the Electoral Committee, Tanja. He is an African like us, and he works with African Services Committee. So I invited him to come and help me to put this together. So we've been talking among ourselves, trying to see how we can put together something that will be in the history book of the Bronx and of New York. So the next agenda is the introduction of the candidates, and each candidate will have 3 minutes to make a statement. And then after that, we'll have introduction of, I have the introduction of the electoral committee. After that, we'll have the voting to take place. After the voting, we'll be going to the next room to do the counting. Then we'll come back here to give you the result. So now, the introduction of the, what?
That's not how the election process takes. When the elections happen, the ballots have been counted in place of everyone, and then the results have been given. So it's not outside process.
Tracy?
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,